As far as other news goes, well, we have the Zymox charity cache this weekend with Echo and Team Liquid. I like this stuff. Blizzard's starting to do a lot of these like community events, and it's been pretty cool. Did you guys watch like the whole leveling run where they had a bunch of streamers like who was it? Bajira was one of them. There was a couple others, and they were leveling through, speed leveling. It was like a competition. It was very cool. Well, this one is a charity event. So Echo and Team Liquid are ready to open up Zymox charity cache. Castle Nathria and Sepulchre of the First Ones will be... They left out Sanctum of Domination. Good move on their part. Horrible raid. Will be plague the fields with these two guilds, but Zymox has made things a bit more challenging by adding more fated powers into the mix. All this effort to speedrun these raids will be rewarded with 100,000 US dollars to be distributed between able gamers and direct relief. Let the charity race commence. Cool. So they'll be streaming this on their YouTube and Twitch, and it looks like they're gonna have 2 fated powers per. Right, 2 fated powers per boss. Very cool. And look at that. Each one they complete will give them a set of money. So they'll be going through Castle Nathria on day 1 and Sepulchre of the First Ones on day 2. This might be cool to watch, you know, especially because we do so much raiding here on this channel. Might be cool to watch the pros go at it. And evidently somebody from Team Liquid watched my stream not too long ago. There's that. We're going places. I still don't understand how that guy got gifted a sub. He had been in the stream. That's crazy. That's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, I'm going to be watching this. This is pretty cool. Should be fun to watch. What date is it exactly? Do we have that? Yeah, right here. So that'll be September 10th through the 11th. 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. For me, I'm at Eastern Time, so that'll be 11, 12, 1, 2 p.m. Not bad. Should be fun to watch. Something to, you know, check out and watch the pros go. These are going to be the hosts. You're going to have Durantos, Christy, Miix Nagaru. Hey, we've rated her before. Tettles and Zryconic. Very cool. That's really smart, actually. The amount is definitely worth like 2 hours of completing a Death Knight campaign. Yeah, you're talking about that amount for sure. For sure. I think it's worth it, and I'm going to do it. So that's it for like, you know, there wasn't too much WoW news. Bellular dropped a video. We're going to watch that here while we continue to fill up group. And his video is, I'm shocked. I've had this much fun. The state of World of Warcraft. I do think World of Warcraft's in a good spot right now. But let's check out what Bellular has to say about it.
I know this might come as a shock to you, but I've been playing quite a lot of World of Warcraft.
What?
Actually, more than I have in a long time. And even more shock.
Side note, did you guys see the Queen of England died? Surprise. I went upstairs yesterday. My wife was like, did you see what happened? I was like, no, what? The Queen of England died. Okay. Didn't know. God rest her soul.
I've actually been having fun. So, have I lost my mind? That's the question.
My wife's all into that. She's
So
going to
you
watch
find
the
out
procession
that
today.
it's been
so.
Mythic Plus. Something that had not resonated with me. That hadn't been my focus. What is the sheer madness?
I watched it last night.
I'll tell you what happened today.
I'm interested to
Season 4 appeared to do a few interesting things. I was kind of keen to see what these dungeons would be like. I'd missed out on doing loads of them in Mythic Plus, and after being a DPS for my entire WoW career, I thought I'd go healer.
Dixie.
With Disc, apparently something in just about the F tier for every Mythic Plus tier list. Well,
Gotcha.
I think it's really cool, and I've been playing it. And what I found over these last few weeks has shown the best and the worst of WoW, and it did something that actually surprised me. It reawakened my intrinsic motivation to do non-sweaty gameplay related stuff in the game.
Non-sweaty gameplay.
And this really taught me the true damage of how Blizzard have designed this game since BFA. I logically understood why I fell out of love with playing the game, but now I feel it. And today's sponsor. Skillshare is the closest we've got to downloading a skill into your brain, Matrix style.
Oh, we got
Here's
Skillshare
Michael
ad.
Burr, And he is going to teach you some game
There you
development. And the first 1,000 of you to follow my link will get a month of Skillshare Premium for absolutely
Gunka
free.
says, WoW is in a good
Skillshare is an
place
online
when there
learning
isn't
community
restrictions
with
on every
thousands
aspect of the
inspiring
game. Time gating
classes
is old
for
and
anyone who
lame.
loves learning and
Yeah,
wants to explore
I agree.
creativity,
It's really
learning,
fun right
and
now
skills.
because, you know,
Programming,
you guys know the
creativity,
term I
and
use for this
these are
point in World of
pretty close to
Warcraft
my heart.
expansions. It's
I
time to
built
helicopter
sort of
dick your
like
way around the
hardcore
expansion, right?
boring custom engine
Go
programming
full
style
power,
movie, and that was all
unlock
really fun, but I
everything,
can tell you,
get best in slot
actually getting
everything.
stuck into the engine you're going to
So I
use,
totally
that's the
agree.
real way
It's
to do
it's
it,
in a
and
good
to
place right
learn
now. WoW's a lot of
by
fun right now. It
doing.
feels like there's a lot to
So
do,
what
a lot to
better
progress
way to
through,
learn C#
and
than to use it to make a little
it's
game?
fun. It
These
is.
are the resources that didn't really exist
There's no
when
time
I
getting
or
right
my
now.
friends were starting off, but they are here for you. With Skillshare, you can
Tons to
shave
do, yeah.
years off your journey by just getting started, and in so many different fields. Today we're talking about game development, but
Give
of
us where
course,
all Lego. Yeah.
productivity, art, there is so much. So, for game dev, take Michael's courses. Do some game jams. Meet some people in your local scene. And these are great. They're for beginners, they're approachable, and they'll take you right through. And they're awesome. He's got stuff for 2D, 3D, building an RPG. What an amazing resource to have, and you can get it on Skillshare,
On
the online
Skillshare,
learning
there you
community
go.
for
Use
creators.
Bellular's link.
So
He's
what
about to
better
post
way
it.
to use the free month that the first 1,000 to click my link down below will get? When I covered how WoW fought with its players for this video, it was an almost comical segment, right? Like, there was so much.
Yeah, we
The
watched that
job of
video.
Season 4, then, is to kill that friction. So here's my experience. This season stopped all forms of borrowed power in a way. Legendaries don't have a new rank, conduits don't get new item levels. Now, they're still a pain in the ass, but they're not that bad. The campaign skips help out too. So, there is stuff to do. In zero way is it intuitive stuff, and that is dead annoying, and certainly a big barrier for new players who will be super confused. But once you are through that stuff, which has been made so much easier, the bullshit of Shadowlands no longer matters. Now, I had 12,000 Cosmic Flux laying around in my old main from the start of this patch, so getting my new Disc Priest, a full set of maxed out conduits with the new item Blizzard added was simple.
Yeah.
Though really it should cost less. I mean, giving that to everyone for free would basically be Blizzard saying, hey, conduits, don't think about them. And that would be better.
I
But
mean,
anyway,
I do feel like we, in essence, got them for free, because Cosmic Flux, I mean, if you've been raiding or doing anything related to this game, you have an exorbitant amount of Cosmic Flux. It's flowing out of your ears and asshole at the same time at this point. So I do feel like they gave us all the conduits for free.
Tier is fun. And the creation catalyst
still here just saving
makes
my
it
flask.
so
Yeah, no
much
problem.
nicer to obtain. I feel like
Legos,
my character
conduits,
is kitted
everything
out
should have
and
zero
good to
cost
go,
right now.
and that has been a reasonable thing.
I just feel like it basically does. Maybe I raid too much to really comment on this, but I feel like I have so much Cosmic Flux. Anything that costs Cosmic Flux at this point is free.
Which is satisfying. So, Shadowlands, it's still an utter designed mess that's very confusing for no good reason, a total load of horseshit for new players, but
Yeah,
Blizzard
new players.
have kneecapped most of its bullshit on purpose, and that's good. I'm glad Dragonflight appears to be carrying, hopefully, I think so far, precisely 0 of those really stupid ideas forward. So, with the bullshit removed,
Yeah.
is WoW,
Nothing from Shadowlands
like,
is continuing
still
on.
fun?
Except Renown. Renown is continuing on, and honestly, I think that's the best thing that ever came out of Shadowlands. Renown is greater than Rep. That's my opinion. Renown is better than Rep. I'm happy Renown is continuing. Everything else can go fuck itself. Get it out of here, including the story from Shadowlands. Get it out of here. Retcon it out of the game.
Look at this graph. For the longest time, WoW ended up not really falling in the
Yeah, I
fun
think
bits
I'm
of
on
this graph.
30k after gearing. Yeah.
But for once, this graph is actually my friend. You see, I'm learning a new class, a new spec, a new role, all while hopping into Mythic Plus, a part of the game that I had generally ignored. And shockingly, it's here that the sliding difficulty scale of Mythic Plus has actually worked quite well, because as I am getting better at the game, I am running higher keys, and that is keeping me in that nice flow state region. It's all generated a nice feedback loop where actually the game feels really very satisfying to play.
It does.
Now, is Disc the bottom of everyone's Mythic Plus tier list? Yes! I guess they're busy in Dragonflight, and that's why we haven't seen any love. As much as I could be salty, maybe I will get salty, but I can get by just fine, and while less unique, I know that if things get bad, I can still go to Holy, and it is enjoyable enough. That graph from earlier, though, it's really just to say that the parts of the game that are in and around intrinsic motivation, those are working for me right now because
Same.
I'm feeling engaged in the game itself and its mechanics. I'm not getting bored. I'm not raging
I have to say, the Mythic Plus rotation of dungeons.
The dungeons?
It's been fun.
Let's do a tier list.
Yeah.
Junkyard. B tier. Neat, but not standout.
I don't like Junkyard that much.
Easy S tier.
Yeah,
because those
Workshop
bosses
is great.
Are just awesome.
Workshop
Lower
is
Kara.
great.
I'm going to give it B as well. A fun nostalgia
I actually don't
blast,
hate Lower
but,
Kara.
oh man, those run times. Upper Kara? Yeah, I have to give it an S, actually.
I have not gotten into a single Upper Kara run. Nobody will fucking invite me. Oh, not Upper. Sorry, Lower. I have not gotten a single Lower Kara run. Lower Kara, Upper Kara is fun, but I have not done a single. No, every time I queue up for one, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. People see that I haven't done it, so they won't invite me to it. Bunch of fucking assholes, and I'm a tank. Usually I get invited to everything. Your ratings are terrible, yeah, because I haven't been doing it. I have not been fucking doing it.
It's awesome. Okay.
I need to get it up. And the problem is that, like, once the season starts, if you don't keep up with it, right? I've just been doing like 1 plus 15 every week. I've been doing the bare minimum. But once you get started and your rating doesn't keep up with everyone else, it gets harder and harder to get your rating up. It's bad. Lower is and it's been nerfed a lot. Yeah, and Lower was a shit show from what I heard, and it got nerfed. But I want to do it. I want to do it because it'll help my rating a lot. I still have nothing. I still have nothing to show for it.
Okay, it does have that one hell corridor, but I think that's fine. Tazavesh Straits. I'm going to give it an A. The fights are fun, there's nothing stupidly frustrating, and Tazavesh, I mean, man, it's just a cool place to be playing the game. Solia's Gambit? Easy S tier. I mean, the changes in
Gambit's
scenery
great.
are
I
fun,
just did that
it's
yesterday.
Quick, it's snappy, and that final boss
Gambit's
is absurdly cool. Overall, Tazavesh is a triumph. Grimrail. This is a weird one. C, but I enjoy... C tier, but I do enjoy...
I actually like Grimrail. I don't think Grimrail's too bad.
...running it. Basically, it's that weird thing where none of the bosses are standouts, and I have to dock some points because the camera's really annoying.
That's true. The camera angles are bad.
Iron Docks, solid B. I mean, only the last boss is really of note, but I kind of like the Iron Horde setting, the VO's fun, and the
Iron
dungeon
Docks
is a
is
nice
good.
length. It's not standout, but it's a solid default slice of WoW.
Just the camera. Yeah, the camera's very bad.
This season comes in real high for me. I think this dungeon pool is just awesome. It's super fun.
I've been
Honestly,
enjoying
it's,
Mythic
more
Plus
fun
a lot
than
more
the
than usual.
Admittedly smallish amount of Shadowlands Mythic Plus that I'd done. But also, I'm a bit of a sadist, so I'll say this. Hey, Blizzard, Skyreach and Shadow Moon Burial Grounds for next season, alright? Let's do that. I want to see people seethe as they go into Skyreach. I'm just that kind. Seriously, Skyreach is awesome. And, like, the dungeons are just
And not to mention, Skyreach has a good mount. If I remember right, Skyreach has a cool mount drop. That'd be cool.
Oh, good. I mean, their mechanics were often pretty great. Their theming was just wonderful, and they all felt so Warcraft. Though
Grimrail's my least favorite.
Complaining about gearing,
Not good for melee. Yeah, it's hard to tank too. It's annoying to tank.
Shockingly, I don't have to start with a complaint. I've got to say, Uncapped Valor simply needs to stay. Simple as that. Even though it is undoubtedly slow going, knowing that I am not wholly unrewarded if I don't get loot from a dungeon is nice. Because
Grimrail sucks because people aren't good at the bosses. True.
Run will help out the vault, but I think that when
I just feel like Grimrail is like the dungeon itself. I don't hate running it, but yes, I do hate the camera angles. And yeah, sometimes you get a group where no one knows how to do the boss, so you end up stuck on the gun boss for like 2 fucking hours.
When we start to play WoW, to make next week's Bing Bing Wahoo box glow a bit more, then, well, I think that is basically a truly copium lifestyle. So yes, Uncapped Valor. I feel like
and the
I'm
part in the
progressing.
train, the camera's terrible. Yeah, I agree. The camera's angles are horrible.
Unanimously like and want to keep Uncapped Valor. I mean, I wouldn't mind a higher drop rate of Valor. I've seen a lot of people mention that because, like, I think
it's just another time gating thing.
Anyway, but I can understand some of Blizzard's reasons to be a bit more conservative there. Anyway, that brings me to pacing. So, my TLDR here is Blizzard clearly tries to make gearing last a long, long time.
Sure.
Now, you know the dinars that they added in
Yeah.
Season 4 that people like but tend to think are a bit slow? Well, Blizzard actually consider them to be very fast. Now, personally, I would rather feel like I could mostly complete my character at the level of difficulty that I would actually do a bit more quickly, and then free to hop over to an alt, or maybe just do something.
I will say I didn't like how the dinar kind of hung over by a week always. You know what I mean? Like, you would kill all the bosses, you clear all the raid possible, and then you'd be left with like 2 or 3 more bosses that you can't kill that week. You have to wait until the next week. And I get, like, they wanted to time gate some of it, but I do wish that it had been, like, shrunk down by those 3 or 4, so every week you got one.
Something else in my main character, or maybe take a month or 2 off, leaving satisfied that I've achieved my goals.
True, that was a good update with the lightning
do just want
spots
a slower
for
pace.
Grimrail.
As for the vault, it is what it is. I happened to get lucky enough with my vault, but I know it would have been super frustrating if I didn't. I think maybe if the vault had a...
I think the vault just needs, like, some more algorithms added to it, right? Like, for one, if there are legendary items equipped, you should never get anything from the vault for those slots, right? That should not happen. And that's such an easy thing to do. Just have it set so the vault recognizes where legendaries are equipped and you don't get armor for those slots. That should be a guarantee. And then everything else, the one thing I hate most is when you've unlocked multiple slots and you get 2 same slot items. Like I got 2 sets of boots. Why? Why am I getting 2 sets of boots? The fuck? Please, I unlocked multiple slots because I wanted to mitigate the RNG, bitch slap that I was going to get. So why am I unlocking 2 slots and getting 2 boots? That just makes me feel like I wasted my time. So I don't hate the vault in concept. I just think there's a couple algorithmic things they could add to the vault that would help ensure that you're not going to feel like you got dicked over and wasted your time. Once I got the same piece in 2 different... see, that kind of stuff should not happen. 2 different item levels, same piece. That's horrible. Or at least give away drops... Or at least let you give away drops to fellow raiders. Yeah, you should be able to trade them. That would be good. Remember the day when you got the booth in his vault? Yeah.
Dinar,
horrible.
Like backup
Made me feel like shit.
That could be saved up to get some gear. Then perhaps that could be onto something. But anyway, gearing for me has not been that bad. Progression has been fun, and the Creation Catalyst is a true game changer as well. I mean, I've got my 4-piece, I felt like I earned it, I'm having a lot of fun with it, and that's great. So, it's really, really good to hear that Blizzard will be keeping something like the Catalyst around in the future. Now, you may have noticed something so far. I'm relatively happy with all this. See, I've been playing with Matt, and he's been tanking. I'm therefore protected from most of Mythic Plus's downsides, but I'm not immune.
Creation Catalyst should definitely be in
One thing's
Dragonflight.
for sure, holy shit, Mythic Plus is a fragile
Creation
experience,
Catalyst was a great
and
addition
its
to the
punishing
game.
elements make that feel worse. So here's an interaction that will just put a great big happy smile in your face. We're in lower 9, we kill the first boss. There's a partial wipe because of a trash overpull and final curtain killing people.
Happens.
Okay, dumb stuff. Anyway,
Amazing
we try to
addition,
razz up, but the DH and the DK release. They can't get past a patrolling mob, so they decide instead they're going to do another route. Now, they only decide this after me and Matt run for ages to go and try to kill that mob so they could rejoin the group, because we assumed that's what they were going to be doing.
That kind of shit.
Now, they then go
sometimes
to a different position that would form part of another route, but it was clearly a route
No
that
BT
the other
today?
3
Yes,
people in
Epics,
the
we are
dungeon
doing BT today.
were not taking.
We're going to finish out this clear, probably take
They
an
then
hour.
sat there,
And then we're going to do BT
AFK,
time walking.
in complete silence for 10 minutes. No response. Insane. And then later, when we weren't doing the Opera House skip, mid-pull, the DK just decided to run off to the left, pull another whole group into everyone, purposely wiping us.
When this shit happens, it's
Now,
annoying.
if we were going to do that skip, then sure. But there was zero communication. At all.
Yeah.
None of this intent was communicated.
I
Now, these people had
I honestly
high
don't talk
item levels,
most of
they
the time
had
when I'm
higher
rating Mythic,
ratings,
when I'm running Mythic Plus.
but absolutely no skills to actually run a dungeon with people. And continually, I found people with higher ratings than me and Matt, with higher item levels, and they just did not know shit.
They're just
They
grinding.
just didn't know mechanics. It was crazy. I mean, what the fuck? So that Kara, that lower Kara, it was an absolute hell experience that was made worse by people's refusal
I like Sam's optimism
to
that
just
we'll
talk.
get these 2 bosses down in oh yeah.
Upon completion, of course, we got
An
a plus
hour.
8 key because
Watch.
obviously we did not time it. So
Easy.
not only were we
Double
punished
one-shot.
by the game for, well, punished by our peers with the mental anguish of those assholes, we then, also just had our time wasted, and then the game decided to slide in and say, hey, we're going to deplete that key too. So overall, that's just a terrible experience. I think some aspects of Mythic Plus need to be fixed. Key depletion. Remove it. If a key is too hard, just go to the depletion NPC if you want to deplete your key. You don't have to, why? Is it not punishment enough that you've not achieved your goal and you've wasted some of your time?
True.
Then it's kind of odd getting a 5-second
hurt.
per death penalty when the real penalty is the corpse runtime. So I wonder if they could rebalance those things, maybe change up some of the checkpointing so the corpse runs will not be as long, but that the death penalty is a bit more impactful, maybe? I get how that could be tricky for different layouts, but you get the point. Of course, all this stuff
Mythic
gets
Plus
10
can
times
cause
worse
severe anger and depression.
if you're in an all-pug group. Even getting in one of those groups can be absurd for a DPS player. I mean, we will sift through 10 to 15 players for an average run, and that's not because we are being very discriminatory and only fishing for the highest item levels. It's just the applications come in so damn quick, and we can only choose 3 people, so we obviously go for whatever makes a decent comp and players who have a decent amount of experience. Now,
Fair.
from my perspective, it's amazing. I'm able to get a group in essentially 0 time, especially with cross-faction, which has been
Yeah, cross-faction
an utter
has been
game-saving
such a
dream
good
for
thing for
Alliance
the game.
Mythic Plus. But if you're a DPS, Mythic Plus pugging would be a thoroughly miserable experience. Finding a guild, or maybe switching to be healer or tank yourself, and then having a healer or tank friend, that's probably the only way out. Because I know this, if I was pugging as a DPS, I couldn't make this video because it wouldn't be fun. Having constant, 10 to 30 minutes of time being wasted going through a million different declines just to get into a dungeon that then is maybe full of pugs and could
Honestly,
go
I
either way.
forgot.
That
I've been tanking now for so long, I think I forgot what it's like to queue as DPS. How is it, guys? Does it take long to get a Mythic Plus group as a DPS?
would murder the pace and it would not be fun.
I mostly insta
This
queue
is
for
fun
Mythic
because
Plus.
we're a tank healer duo. So, I don't know how Blizzard can solve this, but I think there is no doubt that elements of the pugging experience are massively damaging to the game. And now for the real point. So, basically, this one's really
Insta
simple.
invite for Hunters for Lust.
My intrinsic
Well, that makes
motivation to
sense.
do stuff in WoW
Yeah, if you're geared and you have high IO, I'm sure you get quick invites. The problem is, what if you started the season late and you're DPS? Good luck getting a group. That feels bad, man. People will decline a 2K player with 279 and accept a 1.6K with 280.
like, woke up.
Well, that's a
And I
mistake.
think ultimately that's the thing. I wasn't playing for gear. I was playing for the sake of playing, to check out these new dungeons, to check out the new seasonal affix, to try a new
You have to have a
new
higher rating
class,
than dungeon
new spec,
requires.
new role.
It's the
So all
opposite
of
for a
those things
tank
were just,
or a healer, I'd probably
for
say.
the part of me who plays video games for their mechanics.
That's when you
that
get into a
all
carry
was really, really
stream.
successful. And gear,
Yeah, go
I
join
suppose I got
Draz's
sort of
stream.
lucky, but gear felt good enough while I was going through it, to the point where overall, the core Mythic Plus loop was really working for me. And then the surprising thing happened. One night, where me and Matt were doing other things, so we weren't playing Mythic Plus together, I came home, and I just found myself browsing the Transmog subreddit, looking around the Transmog window.
Look at that.
So this urge to start, transmogging my character just appeared. The urge to go and finally get around to doing the Legion Priest class mount.
After you down Lords and
and
Jailer is a
the Disc
joke.
Priest Mage Tower. Those
Be a 1 or 2
things
shot. Yeah, I agree.
just
Jailer's easier than
bubbled
Lords.
up to the surface. And then I found myself wanting to play
Father
WoW
Souls isn't here.
like I did in Mist, SWAD, and Legion. that's what keeps you playing the game, right? It's like when you feel like you just want to do things in this world because there's just this imperceptible desire to do it inside yourself.
This is heroic,
Not
Tank.
Imperceptible, intangible, perhaps is a better word. And this led me to the true realization that is the reason why I'm making this video. The lesson I think that we all need to learn. When World of Warcraft
JC.
stopped presenting me with progression-based friction at every turn,
Feels
I
better to
felt
play the game.
like I was just free to play and enjoy the game.
Exactly.
And when this happened, my intrinsic motivation to learn my spec and my role, that turned into a broad intrinsic motivation towards engaging
nice to log
with
in
the rest of the
and
game.
not feel like you have homework
So
assignments.
the lesson today is simple. It is to never repeat
sure.
Shadowlands again.
Yeah, never again.
Because the second that Shadowlands was freed from its own bullshit, for me, because I already knew what its bullshit looked like, so I was able to avail of and understand the various different skips that Blizzard added in recent patches, it turned into a fun, motivating experience. And that all has me more excited for Dragonflight. Now, this is me personally, not me professionally.
Yes.
Right? Me professionally has still got to, look out for any signs of danger ahead. Any things that could be design problems. But
Dragonflight's looking very promising. I think they learned a lot over these last two expansions.
Excited for Dragonflight because my
about what not
intrinsic
to
motivation to play World of Warcraft re-emerged in these circumstances. And that means that if Dragonflight, an expansion which does not appear to be making the same mistakes of Battle for Azeroth or of Shadowlands, when I think about that, I think, oh, well, yeah, it's going to have better gearing. It's not going to have grinds for conduits or legendaries or any of that dumb shit. Oh, the game's actually free to be itself, free to be the game. So that's the big lesson. In trying to make raiders do world content and trying to make all their conduits and their soul binds and their yada 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 yada, all that stuff, they just added so much
there was just so much
into the
shit
game
to do
that by the time, even if you
do.
were somebody who engaged with those things, by the time you engaged with them, you were too burnt out to have intrinsic motivation to just do cool shit and enjoy the world. So, funny old situation, and that's where I am with World of Warcraft right now. It's just pleasing to know that once these changes were made, in a way, I've still got it. And that's good. Because sometimes you start to question yourself when you're in this situation where, you raid log, you enjoy raid night with people, but for the rest of the game, you're just kind of going la 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 la, pretending that loads of things don't
I've been in
exist.
that mode before.
It was disheartening. And hopefully a bit of a lesson for Blizzard. And maybe a lesson for yourself in what sorts
Honestly,
of
bring back
things
Legion Legendary system.
Can actually help to make you enjoy.
Look, the Legion Legendary system was fun for Legion. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. But do I want a grind like that, right? Like Azerite or AP, whatever grind? I think I'm done with that. I just want to gear out. I just want to get gear and get good. I just want it back to the basics. Legion Legendary was great while it was around, but I think I'm okay on not doing it again.
Because I do think that being on that, incremental gains progression treadmill, that can certainly keep you going, but I don't think it'll truly fill up your tank. Which I suppose is why I'm just not the type to endlessly grind ARPGs. Anyway, there you go. Overall, some nice good news. Let me know what your Season 4 experience has been like, and I suppose with that said, take care, and I'll see you next time.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Another good Bellular video.